The review on Etruscan Time, and I think everyone would like this book.
Boy, that was a quick review, hey?
Yeah.
There you go.
What age
Read the
group
book.
is it aimed for?
It's aimed for juvenile, but
That's what I
honestly, I'm not finding it. It doesn't feel like I'm reading a kid's book when I'm reading it.
Okay. There are some books that are that way. You know, like I think some people think of some of Mark Twain's books as being for kids. I don't necessarily think of them that way, but they can be read by kids.
Sure. And that's the way I feel about this book. You know, yeah, I would have enjoyed it when I was 10 years old, and it's a good book now.
Of course, there are a lot of people who thought for a long time that Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer are not suitable for kids. It used to be something that they teach in schools. And then I think it was sometime in the 70s even, or possibly the early 80s, I was reading about, I didn't understand the Fogocious. What they were doing is they're saying, oh, you know, like there's a portrayal of Jim, and he's kind of got a black accent.
Boy, the flies really want that
he's
salmon.
a slave, and that's awful. Well, Mark Twain, I gather, was something about liberal, and I think the portrayal of Jim is not just sympathetic, he's portrayed as being fairly sharp, you know, worldly wise, and this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I was going, where is this coming from? And now I understand it. It was the beginnings of...
I should fan it while you're trying to put it on the bread.
Well, I'm trying to pull a few...
I made James some bread this morning. It's rye with teff and poppy seed.
Yeah.
It's okay. I put a little bit too much coconut oil in it, and it got a little bit on the crumbly side. So
yeah, it's a little crumbly,
well,
but it doesn't seem... Anyway, we'll see what happens. Angel might get a huge bit of bread, and even
I hope
huger bit of...
better fan off his fish while he's gone, or he'll come back and he'll have
not
a fly sandwich.
It's not as though
salmon sandwich.
It's too hot sitting in the sunshine. We're not trying to cool it.
No.
Just to make that clear.
But anyway, I was talking to...
Sorry. And thanks. Thank you for this.
I gave you some mozzarella and some... I don't know if you want onions on your sandwich, so I
think I'm just going to eat it as is. You know, it looks pretty good.
I
usually
gave you an
the rye
assortment
bread is,
so you can kind of decide, and then the kiwi for dessert. I don't...
might put some... Yeah, it's cool to be able to kind of make a sandwich.
So he's making a sandwich himself. It's kind of like Bonanza, only...
Different. I wonder if you do that, make a restaurant that's based on making your own sandwich. Too much like work, I think, for most people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to a large
Subway.
extent, that's what Subway is. Only they make it for you. You tell them what to put down.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and there've been other ones like that. Is Quiznos like that too? I don't know if I've ever eaten at Quiznos. Here we are advertising for people. They're not even giving us money.
Yeah. Shouldn't have done that. Anyway. There's so much on the CBC to talk about.
Oh gosh.
You know, when I only have one book to review, it's not a big deal, because there's like I've been cleaning a lot and moving things around. I'm trying to get my life really free of distractions so that I can get a lot of work done. So it's exhausting right now getting that happening. But because I have a lot of art projects planned out, and I have a book that I'm writing, and I really need to focus more. So anyway, I'm doing all this cleaning and sometimes listening to the CBC, and I'm trying not to because it gets me down, honestly. And Because there's like I listen to it for COVID news or whatever, right? And it's not
Also
there.
the weather.
Yeah.
We don't have access to the internet.
No.
So.
So we, I guess we'll have to try so that we can post some stuff. But anyway,
Their weather reports are about as reliable as their news. No, their news reports are way less reliable, and their weather reports aren't very reliable. We like Environment Canada. So, go on, sorry to interrupt.
but yeah, this book, it's there's a lot of information there. There's different cultures, different languages, different archaeological techniques mentioned in there. So there's information that would attract anybody who's interested in that sort of thing. And I think a lot of young people really are. They want to know about people of other times and whatever. And I mean, one of the little kids are always, oh, dinosaurs, really exciting. There used to be different animals and they've been gone a long time, and then it gets kids thinking, oh, well, how long have people been, and when will humans disappear off the earth? And then they get really worried about it for a time, and their parents reassure them, don't worry, you won't be there. So.
Well, you don't see it anymore. If Iran gets nuclear weapons, will they use them? If they use them, let's say on the United States will have half an hour to decide who did it.
Well, I mean, that's
they
what's
might
happening
decide,
right now.
it was the Soviet Union, or Soviet Union Mark II, or People's Republic of China, and we'd better attack them.
I mean, that's happening right now, really. It's a kind of, like, right now, it's a sort of a world war that's being ignored. It's like, it's happening, and instead people are saying, oh, it's a climate war. And it's like, what? No. It's actually a world war that's going on. But nobody wants to see it as such. So it's one that's being ignored.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's going to work.
There's actually, right now, there's 3 different world wars being fought. At least 1, 2, 4. Yeah?
It's interesting.
So, one has been fought since 1967, and it's Muslim countries against anyone, particularly in the United States, but anyone that they don't particularly care for or they're threatened by. And so they started the first oil crisis, which wasn't a crisis, because the Democrats were in power in 1967. It was in response to the Israeli successes during the, 7-day war, 1967. So they tried to shut down oil. But the Americans had a strategic oil reserve, and they just flooded the world market. And they've been fighting it ever since, and there's 2 sides to that. There's the Shias in Iran, and there's pretty well everyone else, but the Saudis. Then we had a break from the Cold War, about 10 years, a little less. 9 years, and now Putin's got it back going again. And how is he fighting it? He's fighting it using computers, okay? Computer hackers.
So I gave you too much onions for your sandwich, eh?
That's what we're talking.
I never know.
No.
Wow, that fly was even interested in your onions. He's like, well, if he's going to take the salmon away,
No.
I guess I'll try some onions.
So yeah, when Saddam Hussein, no, Osama bin Laden was strutting around this earth, people were saying, how are they going to handle him, and how are they going to get hold of him? I don't understand the power of computers.
Oh, and this book does not have dinosaurs. I should say that, because I was mentioning dinosaurs, but this book doesn't have dinosaurs.
Power of computers, yeah, and high tech. So they're saying, if he's in a cave, how are they going to get him? I said, I don't know what all's out there, but they've surely got stuff. The ground penetrating radar.
Oh, they do.
That's what they had back then. It's 20 years on.
Yeah.
So, you got all sorts of people wanting to get hold of nuclear weapons. People that don't deserve to have them, and frankly can't be trusted to have them. The Iranians and, well, the North Koreans are appalling. Anyway,
How's the bread? It looks too crumbly for sandwich.
no, it's hanging together. That was the first crumble.
Okay.
So there's just one little crumb for England so far. So,
Don't eat it, Angel. It has poppy seeds in it. You'll get high.
the Americans apparently have been able to hack the Iranian production of nuclear weapons to the point where can't quite get over the hump. But the Americans don't realize. But once, the Russians are way behind their economy, and maybe not their military after Obama kind of sat on his hands, but way behind when it comes to computers. They train their mathematicians, and when you're looking at combinatorics, that helps out with computers. They seem to have some of the best mathematicians in the world, with the exception of France.
I'm going to take some of your mozzarella to give for Angel,
Yeah.
because she seems to want some stuff.
Huh?
Is that good, Angel?
So I
She
don't know
says
how
yum.
good the Chinese are at this kind of stuff. The People's Republic of China.
Oh,
So you censors out there, is it Facebook or YouTube or whatever? Whoever's clamping down on us. When we say Chinese, we mean People's Republic of China. We support the Taiwanese. We support the dissidents in Hong Kong. We support the people who've left China over the decades after
Yummy,
Mao took
hey?
over. So wake up. Wake up. That's all I got to say. Disgusting.
Did you find it?
So China, believe me, they're not fighting on the same side as the Soviet Union Mark II. And they're not fighting on the same side as the Muslims. They're actually hammering down on their Uyghurs.
I'm just getting some. There's poplar fluff on your nose. There we go.
And Putin's not on
Don't
the
need that.
sadist side of the Muslims. He's had a long history of hammering down on Chechens, indigenous Muslims.
I think there's a bone.
You get it?
Yeah, I did. It was just a little one. You probably could have eaten it just
Yeah.
fine.
So we got these 5 actors. The United States in the middle of it all. They're all want to
Sorry.
take the United States out. The United States, despite the fact that they, with connivance of the Russians, ended up having Trump squatting on them for 4 years. It's the last bastion of anything like freedom in the world. And they all hate that. They all hate that. Because every one of these entities have worldwide aspirations.
Yeah, Yeah, it's in the past, they would have failed, but now.
Well, there's people who are collaborating with them, and so you got people supporting Bernie Sanders. He's a Russian agent, like Donald Trump. I was saying that before they found out that the Russians have been shoveling money at him.
She's just staring at your cheese because I gave her a piece and now she's like, I like that stuff, but I don't know if you should eat that much cheese,
No.
Angel. That's a lot of cheese on that plate.
And they're going around the Fogosians of this world saying, oh, you know, to criticize People's Republic of China, that's racist. Huh? You know,
I don't know if they're saying that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Are they still?
Oh, yeah.
You listen to CBC more than I do. I'm not listening to it very much.
It's awful.
It gets me down.
It's
it gets
actually
me so that I read more fiction and do less work. And I mean, it's great to space my time out with some, like, I get exhausted cleaning or whatever, and then I just open up a book and fall asleep eventually. It's great.
And I don't have to tell you what they'd say about criticizing any entity that can be associated with Islam. So they've been gung-ho ever since the so-called revolution. It really was a devolution in 1979 in Iran. They don't like Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia has been a traditional, if unfaithful, ally of the United States. They would see it as being a vassal of the United States. The United States in '74, they had a company called Aramco, which kind of almost like had something like a monopoly. Oh, that's Arab American Oil Company. Arab American Company. They renegotiated the deal. I think the deal was supposed to go until '91. Initially, when I renegotiated '74, when Bush Sr., who was something like an oil executive, that was his cover. He was a CIA guy. Well before he was the head of the CIA from about '75 into early '76. I thought that they were trying to put pressure on the Arabs, the Saudi, to extend the deal with Iran. And I was reading an old German encyclopedia, 3 volumes. It was a small one. It was East German. It was communist. And it was out of date. It dated maybe to 1948. So I hadn't realized that the Americans had renegotiated that deal. You know, like I kind of live and learn. You know, like what you've got with so many Fogosians is live and unlearn.
Yeah.
We don't even tread water. Start thinking, help! Reality ain't what it's supposed to be. I don't believe in reality. What is this I'm swallowing? It's water. I gotta start dreaming again. Come on, good dreams. Yeah. Anyway, that's my tentative analysis of what's happening. We've got all these bad actors. The trouble is Saudi Arabia has decided the United States is not a faithful ally to it. And people are going, why are they attacking, people in Yemen? Well, the Iranians are involved. They're like a dirty shirt. They want to get the Saudis. It's not exactly surrounded, but attacked on 2 sides. And so the Saudis are responding. I don't support this bin Salman dude who's kind of determining policy in Saudi Arabia, but that's what happens. This is a response to Obama. Obama taking it easy on the Iranians, scared the Saudis into into trying another route, which is they figure they've got to defend themselves against the Shiites in Iran. And you know, if the Shias in Iran develop atomic weapons, you watch, the Saudis are going to have it.
She's a little scar
No.
on her head.
Fun times, people.
That's new.
So the pressure's on for Joe Biden, even though he doesn't realize it. He's been making all sorts of mistakes. I supported him initially, and I always would against Trump. But he's making every mistake Obama made on the international and also in the domestic sort of thing.
Are you going to eat black-eyed peas? Yes.
When they actually find out about who's behind Black Lives Matter, they'll find out it's been funded heavily, not entirely, by the Soviets, Mark II in Russia, Putin, and the People's Republic of China. They're, from what I can tell, Marxists. Marxists don't exist to help out blacks or anyone. They're there to serve their own interests.
They're trying to divide and conquer.
That's exactly what's happening. Divide
Which
along
is-
race lines.
yeah.
So,
Which is
they're doing a
funny.
very good job of it.
Yeah, they are. Because most people aren't seeing it. And I don't know why. It's
they're
really
just getting
obvious.
totally fooled.
Yeah.
At least the people who are flapping their gums. And there are a lot of Greens. No, we're going to use a different designation. What are we? Passive workers, right?
But it
Briggs
is
Myers,
silly,
we're
you
going
know,
to do
because
different. They're not going to
it's,
use the color thing. Because people, the censors are getting confused about the yellow thing. Can we
Yeah.
talk about that?
No,
Anyway,
you'd better not even bring up that color,
Yeah, exactly.
or they'll just delete the video.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, in the future, it's going to mean for you censors, it's we'll try not to use it. Make it easy for you.
Yeah, we don't want to offend anyone. We don't want people to think that we're talking about specific racial groups or anything like that.
When
We
we
don't
talk
want
about
that.
the Briggs Myers,
Yeah.
or about anyone, when
No.
we criticize a political system or a religious system or a
Or, you know, when we talk about
social system.
the color red, we're not talking about,
Commies.
no.
I will
And-
use commies to describe
But
commies.
Putin is obviously,
He's a commie.
he's obviously red.
Oh, I see. He doesn't
He's
get
so
much
red.
than him.
But that's, you know, we're not talking about.
He's red and he's a commie.
Yeah. Oh,
The two are different.
well, I guess we're going to get
Clicked off?
this one's probably going to be deleted.
It could be. Well,
But
it doesn't matter.
We're trying to be clear here.
No.
But yeah, we're going to have to come up with some new
So it's
terminology
it's
for the
going to be-
Myers-Briggs
yeah.
stuff.
So
Because
it's-
we were
it's-
just adopting other people's terminology anyway.
Yeah. I wasn't
And
that thrilled about the
I wasn't
color
that thrilled about
designation.
it.
Anyway, it's better to call.
No.
So blues would be passive, creative people, or passive thinkers, and then greens are passive workers.
Well, I like to think of the Greens as manifestors,
Okay.
honestly.
Mm.
I mean, they're creative too and whatever, but they get the thing going. So the blues tend to be very creative, and they come up with some great ideas. And if you get some greens on board to help get the stuff produced and get things, then it's a really great blue-green building team. So they build society together.
Yeah, we're both
Great
blue
together.
greens, so
Yeah.
we work pretty well together. You know, we're creative and we work hard.
Yes.
But over on the other side, you've got aggressive rulers, and you've got